Hello, everyone. Today I would love to speak about a topic that has actually been on my mind recently, even more than what it normally is. The stereotypes that surround spiritual people, or what other people think about us, whether if you are in meditation, energy healing, astrology, shamanism, any other spiritual practice. Probably you have met some limiting assumptions about who you are and what you believe. So let's just dive in and unpack some of these stereotypes, maybe to see where they come from, and hopefully create some understanding along the way. So normally the stereotypes that we commonly face are we are all flaky and unreliable. So one of the biggest stereotypes is that spiritual people are somehow disconnected from reality, up in the air. So they are floating around in the clouds, unable to handle practical responsibilities. And people think that we are always late, disorganized, and actually we can't hold a real job. But actually, many spiritual people are also incredibly grounded because they do spiritual work, and incredible professionals. They are business people in the same way I am, for example. So they're not trying to escape reality, they just go deeper. And another assumption is that we turn to spirituality because we can't handle the real world, even if there is no, the real world is actually the one in which we are living as spiritual people. But the true spirituality actually helps us engage even more with this external reality, and it gives us the tools to process the difficult emotions, to navigate all the challenges, and show up even more authentically in the relationship and in our work. They think that we are naive. Maybe the most stereotype is that the spiritual people believe anything, that we can lack of critical thinking, because of course we believe the manifestation of elements that are not tangible in general. But we have arrived through this deep spiritual questioning and personal experience, and also careful consideration. So we don't believe blindly because someone else tells us. Then there is the stereotype that we are all the same, and there's the assumption that all the spiritual people can be in one category, and we do that with all the other categories as well, no? And we all burn sage, wear crystals, and speak in the same mystical language. But actually, spirituality is incredibly diverse, and some people find their connection through nature, some others through organized religion, some others through meditation, the service to others, to gardening, to creative expressions. They think that we are out of touch. There is also this narrative that it's only, I don't know, people that cannot afford working. Actually, they can spend their time in these wellness spaces meditating because they have a lot of free time and they don't do anything else in their life. But actually, many spiritual practices probably came because of the difficulty of facing the challenges in the real world. So they don't exist like in a vacuum space, but they are rooted in cultural condition, because of course we live in a society that values material success and wants the scientific proof above the inner wisdom. This is what they tell us. For example, think how they portray spiritual people in movies, on television. So they're always a bit eccentric, out of the box characters. The wellness industry, unfortunately, has contributed to some stereotypes because there are these packaging of spirituality with some luxury product, and people maybe they are new, and so their first experience, but maybe not authentic, is not a real one, but it's exactly what they need, because we all go through the experiences that we need in that moment in order to learn something. So we are there is constantly this division between spiritual and non-spiritual people or community. Nowadays, even more, there are people that don't believe anything because, of course, they think that spirituality is religion, that we know it's not. And so how do we move beyond these limiting beliefs, these limiting assumptions? The best way, of course, is to break these stereotypes in a simple way, just showing up as we are, grounded, thoughtful, contributing to our part in society, where we're actually sharing our stories authentically. When we talk about our journey, how we didn't end up being there. I personally end up in a spiritual world after over 20 years of corporate. At actually aside that, in order to be able to face all the challenges, the physical challenges that I was going through, stress, burnout, a lot of that. So I have inherited that very practical modality, the business modality as well. And the combination of the two is absolutely powerful, because you do the work, you put your action, and then you boost with the energy, elevating whatever you are doing, instead of just being a practical list of tools, of techniques, of systems, but you combine both works together. And then, of course, it means that you're working with your heart, you are more working in a compassionate way. You are added that extra element of magic and joy, in which you're not doing that to receive a compensation only, which has to be there, because it has to be an exchange. That can be in exchange through money, that can be in exchange through any other form that is coming back when we are helping other people. And there is nothing wrong in being paid, because it's one job like the other one. But it's just like when people say, I mean, I used to receive that in terms of, oops, I think I had, a beautiful insect. When I used to, at the beginning, practice aside my ex-corporate job, of course, the spiritual practice, I started with meditation, with creativity, adding slowly shamanism, because it was a little bit too much advanced in terms of being discovered. Nowadays, then, of course, it's more popular. And then, of course, people, even if I had already set up a business, then people, of course, will say, yeah, but what is actually that you do in your real life to live? So it's always considered project, a hobby. Like I keep having people asking me, how is it going with your projects? And I say, which one of the many? Because there is still this, again, stereotypes that working in the spiritual world is not a business, is not, and business means that we don't take it as a hobby. It's what we do for living, which has an insane amount of valuable element, because of course we are helping other people. And so, of course, this video is not to be considered a polemic coming out, but just simply to clarify and explain to others and make fun of these stereotypes, because recently I've been called chic hippie, which I was laughing about. I must have been dressed in one of my colorful ways. In general, clothes, one of my colorful clothes that I always wear, as the opposite of when I was working in an office or accompanying groups around the world, for which I was always dressed in the black and white. So sometimes I like, of course, that because I like colors, I like wearing colorful things, and again, that made me laugh in a very funny way. Or also introducing myself to an audience, and there was this element of having to say, but she's one of the hardest working people that I know. Again, based on the assumptions that spiritual people don't work. So it's, again, I take it as a compliment. This is exactly what I am. And I'm taking that, again, to explain these funny stereotypes that we are living nowadays, and that we need to come out. And especially I'm asking you, inviting you, if you are a spiritual person, as I suppose you are, otherwise you wouldn't be here listening, tell me what you think about that. Tell me what you think about this matter and these questions in the comment, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, School of Shamanism.co.uk, and let me know what you think.